Hello everybody and welcome to Advanced Web Design. My name is Justin Hoffman. I will be your instructor for this course online. Thank you all for um, contributing to the forum so far, and I liked reading all of your responses. There is a response for the coming week as well, which discusses in part 1. I have created a new forum below, and would you all please comment on how you would describe responsive design? You're welcome to do some research on your own, and there's a article which I'd like you to read regarding from Smashing Magazine discussing responsive design. You're welcome to, in your own words, describe responsive design, describe how you want to use responsive design, or if you didn't know about it before, you can add some details about what you've learned. For this course, there will be some tools needed. One of those tools will be Photoshop. The newest version would be great, but if you don't have the newest version, you're welcome to use what you have. When I say that, in regards to all activities in this course, there is a way to do everything open source or without purchasing, for example, Photoshop. You can utilize something called GIMP, which is another open source software. And there's other tools out there as well in order to complete your assignments. Although the assignments will be geared around Photoshop. If you choose to go the route of not utilizing Photoshop, that is your choice. But there will not be a tremendous amount of support for that decision. But I certainly will not penalize work that is being done outside of Photoshop. There will also be other tools that we might be utilizing which do cost money. I will bring up other alternatives which are open source along the way. And once again, there are ways in order to complete the assignments by not utilizing these tools and by not spending more money. Although they might take a little bit more work on your part. Having said that, that extra work could very well turn out to be in your best interest down the road as far as understanding the content and material better. One of the things that I would like you to do for part 2 of the activity of this week, which will be due on January 31st, there's a PDF right here, which is called Homework Part 2, and if we click on that here, it describes what Homework Part 2 is. It says, welcome to Firebug. Firebug is an install, an extension to Firefox. There's also an extension for Chrome and Safari as well. So you can utilize it in any of those browsers, but I do personally, my preference is with Firefox. I also do have it with Chrome, but I find that Firefox is more stable and seems to work better for myself. You're welcome to try it in the other environments and let me know how you feel. So if you click here on the link that I provided, you'll see add-ons. You click to add to Firefox, it will download it, it'll ask you to close Firefox and reinstall, and you will get a little Firebug up in the right hand corner. Here I have an image here to zoom into, and the Firebug looks essentially like this. When I click on that Firebug, up pops either at the bottom of your screen down here, or it'll pop out with some code that tells you what these pages have. Firebug is a really cool tool as far as I can use this arrow tool and it will tell me what the information is that I'm clicking on. For example, this says it's the site title. It says what color the site title is. So if I turn it off, I just change the color of the site title. Text decoration, it says none. Here's another color which is to the link. Essentially the site title link that it's associated to. It also tells us where it's located. The name of this CSS here is quite opaque, but usually it'll say actually .css and where the line number that it might appear. You can utilize Firebug with just about any site. So if we want to go to maybe berkeleycitycollege.edu, and we now have Firebug here, and we click the arrow tool. When we click on here, we'll see, oh wow, alright, so this title here is actually an image, and that image is showing up as, let's try to move this bar over to the side, it's showing up as college home banner for .jpg, and it's giving the address of where that banner is located. So we can click that, and for example, that turns off the banner. It only turns it off on your computer. It doesn't turn it off for the entire site. The changes you're making, you will only be able to see. And as a matter of fact, when you go and you refresh it, those changes will go back to how it was before. Firebug is really nice for, first of all, looking at other people's sites sometimes and seeing how they did things, but it's really great for looking at your own sites and kind of doing rough changes and seeing how changes might happen. For example, if you wanted to change colors of your page, you can always just go in and change a color to another color of text, and so on. You could even move things around and see how they look. So it can be a very useful tool. Why I bring it up is because there's other tools that are out there in order to find out information, but in order to find out some CSS code sometimes, you can utilize Firebug, and Firebug will help you with short code to figure out what kind of color is going on, what kind of font, and so on, so that we can kind of quickly copy and paste code into our CSS in order to change things. So for the activity, I would like you to download Firebug, and I'd like you to play around with it essentially. And the activity is for you to experiment with Firebug, but also for me to get an idea of what kind of experience you might have utilizing and building websites. So if we go to the document here, let's zoom in and try to make it bigger. For activity 1, I would like you to go to this website here. Here, we'll highlight this. I'd like you to go to this website here. And for this website, I'd like you to use Firebug and find the image width, border size, height, and source name for the following images. So your results should look like image width 100, border 10, height 460, and the source Dancing Bear Go 03. So if I click on here and I go to inspect, and it tells you which one. So the first question is visit Istanbul, so it says visit Istanbul here. I want you to go and inspect that image, and you'll see where that blue bar ends is essentially where that image is. So you'll see that blue image right there, and then if I go over go, that's where that image is, and so on. And you'll see your information in this area. There's no CSS involved with this, it's all HTML, but it does give you the information of the image width, the border, the height, and so on. So I'd like you to go and find that information for these 5 questions, and or these 4 questions. For the 5th question, I would like to know what you think source equals dancing bear backslash go03.jpg represent, and essentially what is that address? What is the address talking about? I've given you a hint that it is an address, but if you could give more detail about where that address might be located, how it relates to everything else, that's what we're looking for with question number 5. For activity number 2, I'm going to want you to go to the following link, which is baidu.com Crazy Town. And I'm going to want you to go to the document and figure out where to find the different information. So I want you to use Firebug and copy and paste the code and provide CSS information and line number for the blue header with the words the divided blue line. So that's this blue header here. So essentially I'm currently using Chrome, which I told you not to do, but I just did it anyways. You'll see that it works in a similar fashion. I click with the inspect tool here, and then I have the arrow. It puts a little blue box around it, and then it chooses the code, and I can now see the code that is chosen. And then the question goes to ask, part A, the divided blue line is located on line number 6 on the page on the CSS mmart.css. So you can see where the CSS is located. This is all the information here regarding the page, and the HTML is over in this area here. So I'd like you to copy the code and paste it in this area, and I'd also like you to paste the HTML code over here. And then for question number 7, I'd like you to find the CSS line number and CSS code, the style sheet name, and the HTML code associated with button 3. So essentially the exact same information. You'll see that this is a line number, this is a CSS page that is referenced, this is the code, and this is the HTML code. So I'd like you to repeat that essentially for question number 7 and question number 8. For question number 9, I ask how many CSS pages are linked to the HTML page at the address of baidu.com crazytown. So if you could also try to figure out how many CSS pages are currently being utilized to create this page here. And then for activity number 3, I'd like you to please write a paragraph about your feeling with the activity. Was the activity easy or was it hard? And were there areas that you need more information? So those are some of the things that I would like you to do. For this entire activity, please do not get too stressed out. It's used to gauge your understanding of CSS and HTML. Do the very best you can, but don't worry. It is okay if you have some difficulties. Just complete the activity, and when you are done with the activity, I would like you to go back to Moodle. Go to our course, and I would like you to go and upload your Firebug activity as a document. If I switch role to student, you'll see that when you go to Firebug activity, it'll say add submission. You click add submission, and you upload your document that you've created, or PDF or whatever it is. You can create that in, I prefer if you're going to create it in something other than Microsoft Word, please export it as a PDF and just put that PDF into your file submissions. But you can use any type of text editor you'd like, OpenOffice, and so on. So good luck, and I look forward to seeing your assignment.